I just wanted to make a quick little video here regarding a rabbit hole that I've been going down over the last month or two. And it has to do with a couple of fellas who pretty much do the same thing. One's Martinez perspective and the other one is Gypsy Crusader. Now, before anybody jumps in the comments or whatever, calling them feds or whatever, I don't know. I mean, who the fuck knows at this point? This isn't really, I'm not really defending them or anything in this. I like what they're doing, and I hope that they're genuine, but who knows? We've been burned so many times. Anyways, like I said, that's not what this is about. Basically, if you're unaware, these are two guys who go on to Omegle, and they're basically dropping red pills among random strangers. In case you further don't know, Omegle is a platform where you're just, or Omegle, I don't know, I forget how you pronounce it. I've never used it myself, but it's just, I don't know, what's the word, peer-to-peer, totally randomized. You just set up your webcam, you start the process, and then you're just instantly talking to random people, and you can choose to skip past them or whatever. And there's a lot of freaks and weirdos on there, of course. A ton of young people. That seems to be almost all it is people between the ages of 18 and 25 or so. 25 might even be kind of pushing it a little bit. Anyhow, what the thing they do is, through either characters or just acting as themselves, they'll start the conversation off with a proposition, like a question or something, and then almost immediately start dropping some really hard bombs, let's say, in the form of certain words that are considered taboo. You can probably imagine what I'm talking about. Like I said, I didn't want to dwell too much on that, but just to get it out of the way for anybody who hadn't seen it. So the point that I wanted to bring up, something that I think is really valuable that these guys expose, is just how full of shit the members of these certain protected groups in the West are when it comes to the things that supposedly offend them. So, as they would have you think, gays and especially black people would make you think that they can't leave the house without being besieged by racism everywhere. They can't make the walk from the front door to the car parked in the driveway without having 10 white guys, jumping on their backs and screaming the N-word into their ear holes. Now, instinctively, if you've, been alive for the last 35, 40 years, that that's absolute bullshit. But these people really, at least they will try and convince you of that. Now, the value that I think people like Gypsy and Martina's perspective bring is that they completely demolish that. And you can tell that these people don't actually believe their bullshit when they're actually confronted with racism. Because when they're actually confronted with the N-word or whatever, it's almost invariably the same reaction. Eyes wide open, jaw drops. Yo, dude, you can't say that. Oh my God, bro, you're like a racist. What the fuck, bro, dude? Yo, they're shocked. They are absolutely shocked. And there it is. Because no matter how mean society is towards you, at a certain point, you become desensitized to it. Like, the idea that you're constantly having to face scrutiny or just outright hatred of your racial category, that fits more with me or other straight white males. That's actually the case with us. You can't turn on the television without seeing it. You can't look at commercials without seeing it. You can't look in the textbooks in a university without seeing it. And a university is kind of even setting the bar high. This shit is rampant in primary and secondary school as well. It's everywhere. And at this point, I think my behavior, insofar that it's the exact opposite of their behavior, is an exemplar of that, in that it really takes something pretty egregious at this point to get me to have that reaction. And even then, I don't really have that reaction anymore because I'm desensitized to it, because it's all pervasive. It's all over the damn place. So I don't know. That's just a quick little thought. I don't think anybody's really articulated that yet, but I think that that's an extremely valuable thing that they are doing, just in and of itself, with that. The fact that these people will have us believe, and they will tell you, and I think a part of them believes in the same way that, you say a lie enough times, it kind of becomes true in your own head. But there's, I think, a much stronger and more prevalent part of them that knows that they're full of shit, and that this society whether it's here or Europe, bends over backwards to accommodate them. They know that that's not true. They know deep down that the very fleeting, rare examples of like a white cop killing a black man, they know that there are certain things that they need to leave out of every one of those stories, key points of context, and that's exactly what they do every single time. You can go all the way back to Rodney King and see that. So then to see the look of shock in their faces, it's just, there you go. It's like, again, I keep saying it, but you're full of shit. You're absolutely full of shit. You know that's not true. You know this society really goes so far out of its way to accommodate you, and you're using racism as a cudgel and a shield all at the same time to both get what you want politically and get what you want socially and shield yourself from your own shitty behavior. So, anyway, shout out to both Gypsy and Martinez for that alone, because I think that's huge. When people want to, try and tell you about how they're just beset by racism on all sides, they have to weather the slings and arrows of outrageous racism. Bullshit. Bullshit you do, because look what happens. Look at how you react when you're actually confronted with a racist. You're completely stunned and shocked. And that says it all. Anyways, I'm out. As the man once said, you can build your filthy world without me.